Hey y'all, we are out in the forest. I am by a lake. I think it's called Jinx Lake or something like that. I figured I would just vlog this whole week and that would be like my therapy video for the weekend. But yeah, I'm having a pretty good time. I had to drive hella far into the mountains. It was a lot. But I found a little spot to sit and just enjoy nature. Yes, there's the lake over there. It's pretty. Oh, there's another bench that's even more shady, but the shade's coming in over here, so we'll be okay. But yeah, so just to piggyback off of what I said on my last video when I was doing the review for This May Destroy You, I May Destroy You, whatever the name of the show is. You gotta get away. You gotta find a space to just decompress wherever you can find it. Whether that's a hiking trail a few minutes from your house, laying on the grass somewhere at a park, or driving to Big Bear and chilling in the sunshine in the forest. Find your moments of peace, whatever that may look like for you. Yeah, this is nice. It's hot as fuck out here, but you know, as you can see, I'm dressed for the occasion. But yeah. So I'm in my car. I found a nice little spot to park and chill and just look at the mountains and the things and stuff. As you can tell, I'm a very chill type person. If I can find a nice spot to park and relax for a little bit and maybe even take a nap, I'm happy. No matter where I'm at, what country I'm in, I always try to find a place to park and just relax. And I can be adventurous and do the boating things and stuff like that, but I don't want to. I thought I would talk about, I guess I can include it in this video, boundaries and understanding foundational boundaries, as well as understanding conditional boundaries. So as you move forward in life, you can better put down what are your conditional boundaries and what are your foundational boundaries. So as I said in a previous video, I think it was my video, take this off, it's bothering me, about believing people when they show you who they are. A part of that is also understanding your boundaries. Because yeah, you can believe people, but if you have no boundaries, then you're just going to end up, you know, allowing them to do what they want because you have nothing that you stand by, nothing that you say no to or whatever. So first and foremost, get a list of what are your foundational boundaries. Those are boundaries that you will not be moved on, and if they are crossed, you will have to step out of the relationship, the situation, the friendship, or put up strong walls against a family member who doesn't want to respect your boundaries, your foundational ones. So I think I mentioned before, some of mine are lying, cheating, inconsistency, negativity, abuse. If you don't like yourself, that's a foundational boundary for me. I need you to like yourself because how you feel about yourself reflects on how you treat me. And I'm not okay if you don't like yourself. And I'm not here to teach you how to like yourself. I'm here to support you in you liking your own self. So those are my foundational boundaries. Those are boundaries where if they continuously get broken, I have to step back from the relationship, you know. And of course, that doesn't mean I'm not going to give you a chance depending on what it is. You know, if it's abuse, that's immediate no go. I'm not about to talk to you about this. I'm about to leave. If it's like you have a problem with lying, I'll give you about 3 chances talking to you about it along the way. And eventually, after the 3rd chance, I'm done. And then you have your conditional boundaries. Like, one of my conditional boundaries is I like cartoons and anime. If you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to like it. It's not a deal breaker, but you know, you're gonna tolerate that that's what I like, and that's what I like to do, and you're not gonna give me any shit about it. And that is the compromise that I'm willing to make on that. Let me see. I would say hygiene is a foundational boundary for me. I need you to bathe regularly and things like that. I was thinking about maybe that's a conditional. No. I mean, like, let's say you have that disorder where, like, you're musty all the time and you can't help that. That's like a glandular problem, but you bathe regularly. So maybe that's something that can be conditional depending on, like, what's the reason behind it. There you go. But yeah, so when you make your list of foundational and conditional boundaries, that's just what you have to kind of think about. Like, what are my conditional boundaries? What are my foundational boundaries? What are things that I will not be moved on, and what are things that I'm willing to compromise on? And then you just kind of move from there when negative people come into your life and you say things that, you know, you apply those boundaries to the reason why you're not going to be a part, you're going to not allow this person to be a part of your life, and then you stick by them. So you stick by them. That's the thing. You cannot waver on your foundational boundaries. So somebody might come along and they might try to manipulate you. So manipulation, that's another foundational boundary for me. I'm not about to be manipulated. And they might manipulate you and gaslight you and, you know, make you believe that what they actually did, they didn't do. Like, let's say you go on a first date with somebody and they're really invasive of your space. And you know, the first time it happens, maybe they lean a little bit too close and you kind of notice it, but then you think, well, maybe it was an accident. But then by the 3rd and 4th time where they've grazed you a bunch of times and things like that, it's kind of like, now if you're interested in them and it's not a problem for you and you don't feel bothered by it, that's one thing. But if you feel kind of bothered, or they're grazing you or touching you in places that are not innocent, they're places that are private and things like that, then you have to take hold of that and be like, this person's invading my space. You can say something if you feel safe enough to say something like, hey, space bubble, you know, you don't need to, I don't like when people are super close to me and I don't know them like that, you know, and see if how they respond to it. But if you don't feel safe saying anything like that, you know, I think there was this, so a good example of this is, what's her name? Scary Spice. So the girl that Scary Spice, I forgot her real name. She went on this talk show once, and the host of the talk show was like on live television filling up her ass as she was sitting down. He was like, he kept touching her butt, like scooting his hand, and she looks like she's, you know, when you have the fight, flight, or freeze moment. I might put a picture or a clip of it just so that it can jog everybody's memory. But it looks like she's a freezer. So she just sat there smiling and didn't say anything, you know, and that happens. You freeze up and you don't know what to do. You don't know if you should say anything. You don't know if you should get all extra. I forgot what happened, but somebody said something and he stopped. So I don't know if it was the other host or maybe he just stopped by himself. I don't remember what happened, but it's things like that. Being inappropriately touched and not knowing necessarily what to do or how to respond to it. having somebody randomly say negative things about the way that you're dressed, negative or controlling things about the way that you're dressed, the way that you style your hair. And even if you do know this person, it's like, why are you constantly saying negative things about me? Whether it's a family member, like your mom always says negative things when you come around about the way you look, or it's a first date and he's like, I don't like the way your hair looks. Like, who the fuck who the fuck cares what you like? It's not your hair, it's my hair. Or you're in a long-term relationship, or it's a friend, and they constantly have some criticism about the way you look and dress, and that's kind of like, that's negativity. I don't need that negativity. I like the way I dress. I don't need you constantly nitpicking at how I look, and I'm not saying that people can't just be like, give you some advice here and there about the way you dress or something like that, and you kind of know that it's in a friendly way. But if it's a constant thing and it's random and it's out of nowhere, and especially if it's in public or it's in front of other people, like they're trying to purposely embarrass you, then you have to kind of think about that as well. So yeah, I would just kind of take notice of things that make you feel uncomfortable and ask yourself, why does this make you feel uncomfortable? Is it crossing a boundary for you? Boundaries affect your time, your physical space, your emotional space. Let me see what else. Time, physical, emotional, sexual space, mental space, so it affects the things that make you, you. Hey y'all, it's another day of vacation. I found a little spot to enjoy and sit and view nature and stuff. It's nice. I like it. I like little spots like this. And there's phone service, so that helps too. But I figured today I would continue my discussion on learning how to set boundaries, as well as how to get past that initial anxiety about setting boundaries. Not even initial, that anxiety that's just going to keep coming up every time you try to set a boundary. So one thing I noticed when I started trying to learn how to set boundaries on a regular basis was that it was hard getting past the initial anxiety that is telling me, oh, well, maybe that person's right, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm doing something wrong, and things like that. So I started asking myself these questions. What have I done in this situation that was wrong, that contributed to the negativity and the uncomfortableness that I'm feeling right now? And if I really think about it, like, let's say you go on a date. I'm always going back to dates because that's where a lot of this stuff happens. Our family members, even friendships. But let's stick with the date. You go on a date and it's your first date, and the person starts like filling you up a little bit, and you don't like it. And it's not like an obvious thing. It's more like I said before, like a graze, a graze. And you're just like, every little graze, you're thinking, well, maybe it's just a graze. Maybe, I'm overreacting. So I asked myself, why do I feel wrong? First, why do I feel wrong? Well, because I don't necessarily like this person touching me. 2, did I do anything wrong in this situation to feel uncomfortable? No, I just went out on a date. Okay, didn't do anything wrong. I didn't invite this person to touch me. I didn't ask this person to touch me. I'm not leaning in for them to touch me. I'm actually leaning away at times. Okay, so if I don't like this and I didn't do anything wrong to cause this, like I said, how people respond to you anyways is still their fault, not yours. But I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't provoke anybody in any way. So what kind of boundary can I set in this situation? Well, I can gently say, I don't really like being touched, especially when I don't know the person that well. And if they say, well, it was an accident, well, can you please watch out a little bit more, pay a little bit more attention so there's no more accidents, because it's really bothering me, you know. Or if you feel like they're not listening to you, they don't care or whatever, you can just get up and leave. That's what I say, paying attention when you're out on a first date in a crowded area. I mean, people who are dangerous will do dangerous things anywhere, but if you feel like you can get away, then get away. Say you're with friends and your friend is always down and negative, asking yourself, why do I feel uncomfortable in this situation? Because they're down and negative again. I don't know why they're down and negative again, but it brings me down. So that's why I'm uncomfortable. Well, did I do anything wrong to cause them to come to me about their problems all the time? Because when you have an uncomfortable feeling, sometimes you often feel like you did something wrong to cause this feeling. And they just come to me. I didn't ask them to come to me. I didn't provoke them to come to me. They just did. Okay, so what can I do to set a boundary? Well, I can let them know, I don't have the emotional space right now to hold all of the things that you want to talk about. And so I'm wondering if maybe we can find a resource where you can go and express yourself to, maybe therapy or maybe another friend, or maybe we both can just do something fun together to kind of step back from these negative feelings that we're both feeling right now. Things like that. Something that I also like to do when you're in the moment and you can't think to ask yourself these questions because now you're really anxious, is I like to use mindfulness. Mindfulness can be used anywhere. It's not just like a meditation activity, like me sitting here listening to all the sounds. I hear the trees rustling. I hear some kind of bird, duck, squalling over there in the distance. So taking yourself out of your mind by focusing on your outside environment. The way I feel sitting on this log, my leg is starting to hurt because it's pressing into my leg. The way the breeze feels on my skin. So I'm hyper focusing on something to take me out of the negative thoughts that will make me spiral. And you can use meditation to practice how to do this. You can do it on a daily basis when you are, out and about or at home, just finding something outside of yourself to focus on and see where it takes you, So first and foremost, asking yourself, did I do anything in this situation that was wrong? Did I provoke this situation? Why do I feel uncomfortable? What is the thing that's happening that's making me feel uncomfortable? And thinking of what is the boundary that I can place in this situation? How would I like to place it? And then going from this giant black ant, don't touch me. I'm probably sitting. I already prayed to God not to see a snake. I'm fine with nature as long as I don't see a snake and I get to leave eventually and go shower into the running waters. But I like nature. I don't want to see a snake. So yeah, but that is just some things that you can work on to help with learning how to set boundaries and getting past the anxiety of setting boundaries. So it's my last day. I leave tomorrow to go back down the mountain, and I just wanted to leave you all with some words of wisdom to end the video. So yeah. When it comes to setting boundaries and paying attention to the negativity that may be in your life, whether it's coming from your friends, coming from a significant other, coming from a family member, a coworker, a supervisor, wherever it's coming from, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a lot of practice. Practice using the mindfulness skills I talked about before. Practice asking yourself the important questions of, did I actually do anything in this situation? What can I do to get out of this situation that's making me feel uncomfortable? Do I feel uncomfortable? Why do I feel uncomfortable? Asking yourself all of those important questions, separating yourself from the negative thoughts in your mind so that you can focus on, the here and now and what changes you can make in the present, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take practice. It's going to take failure. I mean, a lot of my clients, it took up to like 6 months of continuous practice before they were able to utilize mindfulness techniques to calm themselves down and, react to a situation in a more calmer way, in a way that will get them results that they wanted, even if it made the other person angry. Something that's holding a lot of us back, I know it held me back when I was in the peak of my anxiety, was I didn't want other people to be mad at me. I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I didn't want to make anybody upset. I didn't want to make waves. But then I just started to realize more and more that the more that I didn't make waves, the more that I had to carry the weight of whatever it was that was causing me to be anxious or upset. And I had to pack that weight in because I could never talk about it. I could never express myself of how I was feeling when it came to things that were triggering to me, because I cared more about how other people felt than I felt. And at the end of the day, you have to really ask yourself, is other people's feelings more important than yours when it comes to things that cross your boundaries and are hurtful for you? If these folks notice that they hurt your feelings, or if there's a pattern, which, they should notice if they're doing it more than once, but they may not act like they notice, then you have to ask yourself, does this person really care about me if they don't respect my boundaries, if they don't respect me, if they don't notice my body language when I move away from them, if they try to touch me, or if they don't see the angry look on my face, or the what the fuck look on my face when they've asked me for the 3rd time, for the 15th time to borrow money in 1 month. All of those things that people should notice, but because nothing is said out loud, a lot of times people that are manipulative or hurtful will take advantage of the fact, well, you didn't say anything. And that is a common argument you will hear. Well, you didn't say anything, so I just thought you didn't see my facial expression. You didn't feel my body moving away. You didn't hear the sigh in my voice when I had to reach into my wallet for the 15th time this month to give you money and things like that, or to give you a place to live, or to, do this, that, and the other, when, because at some point, certain situations where you allow manipulators to manipulate you, it starts to become an enabling thing, because you're allowing them to take rest on you. They never learn how to take rest on themselves. I am the queen of giving people referrals. If you feel sad today, I can refer you to a good therapist. I can refer you to a good program that you have to go on your own and call them and schedule an appointment and help yourself to do. And if you don't want to take that service, well, if you come at me again with some more stuff that you have fallen into, well, then all I can say is, well, I gave you a referral. You should have called them. You can still call them. The agency, the companies, the therapists are still working, low income too. So you don't necessarily have to worry. It works with your insurance. So giving referrals, start learning how to give referrals instead of always having to feel like, that's another option that you can use. So when you are stepping back and verbally placing your boundary and saying no, you can give referrals. You can just say, no, I can't do it. If you don't want to do something, you shouldn't be made to do something that you don't want to do. And that's not saying go all the way to the extreme where every time something comes up, you say no to it till you become a selfish person. It's more so listening to yourself, truly asking yourself, will you be able to do this for this person? Are you willing to sacrifice for this person? Do you want to do this for this person? And then letting your answer come from an authentic place instead of feeling like you should have to all the time. Every time you say yes to something, every time you let something go that makes you uncomfortable, a lot of times you have this feeling inside of you like you should have to do this. And so you never really get to the point of enjoying doing nice things for people or being more open with people, because it's always coming from a place of, oh, I have to do this to make them happy, rather than I want to do this because it makes me happy to see you happy and things like that. You never learn how to develop that feeling, So it's going to take time. It's going to take practice, but it's worth it. It's worth it when you're not tied to other people's issues anymore. And you can kind of see a situation for what it really is rather than second guessing yourself almost every single time. So, and I'll make more videos on this too, because setting boundaries is difficult. And this is kind of like a vlog slash information video. So I might not have been 100% clear the way I would like to have been in a proper video about setting boundaries and sticking to them. But, ooh, that sounded preteenish. But, you know, I hope I did give you some good information today. I'm going home tomorrow. I'm excited to see Poof. I'm so excited to see my kitty cat. Oh my gosh. They let her out her cage yesterday and I watched from the live feed as she was like exploring her little cat area, and it just made me feel so happy to know that she felt safe enough in that space to explore it. And I felt a little bit better. I didn't think that she was like being, you know, abused. Or she was scared or something or whatever. Now I'm worried. I'm just like, what if she doesn't recognize me when I come back? But you know what? I'm just a worry wart, especially when I care about somebody or something. So I'm still a work in progress. Because after seeing that and her walking around in the little cat area, it went automatically to, well, what if she gets really happy there and she likes the people that work there and then she doesn't love me anymore? So obviously I am still a work in progress. So don't come for me unless I send for you. Thank you. But I'm excited to go home. I like to stay on a vacation long enough to, by the end of it, I want to go home. You know, if I'm going out of the country or I'm going far, then I'll stay like 2 weeks. Because by the middle of the second week, everything is just like, I miss hot Cheetos and I miss barbecue, and I started thinking of all the food that I miss, and I started thinking of my bed, then I started thinking of my shower, then I started thinking of my couch, because I love my couch. I love my couch so much. But yeah, like I said before, if you can get away, even if it's just to your local park to lay on the grass for most of the day. I've been doing that during quarantine, laying on the grass for most of the day at the park, so I can just feel like I'm outside doing something. I went to Malibu. I think I posted a vlog. I went to Malibu and I parked on the side of the road and I sat in the car and just like looked at the ocean and took a nap and ate and watched Netflix and things like that. I don't know why I keep playing with my hair. It's just something for my hands to do, so don't come for me. Like, oh my gosh, why is she playing with her hair so much? Just cause it's something for my hands to do. I'm a fidgeter. I'm a fidgety person. But yeah. If you can get away, even for a small thing, try to get away in a way that you can still social distance. Even out here, I mainly stayed doing nature type things and away from most of the people. So that was fun. But if you can do it in a way where you're still social distancing, then I would suggest that. Because I read this article where they were like, is summer road trips, is the increase in summer road trips causing the spread of COVID? And I was just like, oh shit, can't do a damn thing. And then Disney World is open back up in Florida, even though they just had 11,000 new cases in a day or some shit. So you know what? I think America is just gonna be out here just survival of the fittest. Whoever survives is the winner, and whoever dies isn't. So you got to do what's best for you. If getting away is setting up a picnic in your living room and lighting some candles, build a fort. Adult forts are really fun. I haven't had energy to do it because it's been really hot and I don't want to be inside a pillow thing when I'm hot, but build a fort. I don't know. Living room picnic, candles everywhere. Do something for yourself that is relaxing and makes you happy, and makes the people that you're with happy, makes your family happy if you want to involve them as well. But I would say just find a way to get away, because this shit is a lot. It's a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go, and maybe this will be my last segment of the vlog, I guess. So yeah, later days.